Hello to all of our YouTube channel friends and happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us for episode 45, where we bring you the abbreviated history of the legendary Shelby GT500. You'll remember that last Sunday we brought you an amazingly preserved 2012 edition. If you missed it or you want to see it again, it's easy to find it right here on YouTube. Without further ado, we're excited to bring you the story of these iconic Mustang-based supercars. So, let's go for a ride. The GT500 was first introduced to car-crazy buyers of anything with style and horsepower for the model year 1967. For 2 years, independent automaker Carroll Shelby and his crew were assembling Cobras, Daytona Coupes, GT40s, and the Mustang 2+2 fastback-based GT350s. While these cars were impressive performers, consumers were demanding larger cubic inch displacement engines in the pursuit of more horsepower. Because the 67 Mustang would be redesigned to accept the FE Series 390 big block engine, and sister division Mercury was also now offering their new pony car with an optional big block 390 between the shock towers, Ford Motor Company was now a major contender in not only the pony car wars, but the muscle car wars too. Since Shelby was now sharing some technical and design aspects with the engineers at Ford, a big block Shelby was now planned for the same year. But as Shelby's reputation dictated, simply offering a modified 390 would simply not suffice. Instead, Shelby sourced the second-year 428 FE engine, now available in several versions, from basic transportation to a police interceptor. But Shelby also topped his big PI motors with a cast aluminum dual-quad intake manifold with 2 Holley carbs and some beautiful cast aluminum valve covers. Available in only one body style, known as the 2+2 or fastback, buyers still snap these up. It should be mentioned that Shelby also had one prototype coupe and one prototype convertible, both packaged as GT500s, and both cars still exist today and are in fully restored condition. 2 transmissions were available, a manual 4-speed top loader or a C6 automatic, along with other comfort and convenience options that sold more cars, but detracted from what the Shelby Mustangs started out as being, pure performance. 1968 would see the continuation of both the small block GT350 and the big block GT500. To further promote the direct lineage of these 2 new Shelbys to Carroll's AC Cobra Roadsters, the 68s were sold as the Shelby Cobra GT350 and the Shelby Cobra GT500. To keep up with increasing demand, Ford took over production in Michigan by utilizing subcontractor A.O. Smith to complete these special new Mustangs. Big news for this year was the availability of a new convertible body for both series. The 500's 428 Interceptor engine dumped the dual quads from the previous year, and this engine was mildly detuned from the previous year. This mill would be under the hood of every 1968 GT500 until April of 1968. By then, Shelby had secured the rights to the model designation King of the Road, or KR. That's the easiest way to tell an early 68 GT500 from a later 68 GT500 KR. In 1969, the body styles for both the convertible and the fastback models changed drastically, and they struggled for significant sales because the Shelbys, especially the GT500s, were a lot more expensive than other cars from their competition, including Ford. They didn't sell particularly well, so it was decided that the unsold 350s and 500s would be re-serial numbered as 1970 models. All of these carryover Shelbys were recalled back to Michigan and then converted under FBI supervision by changing the VIN, adding a front spoiler, and finally, dual black hood stripes. It would be the end of an era for the Shelby supercars, but not forever. Fast forward to 2005. Carroll Shelby and Ford Motor Company had had their differences in the last few years of the 1960s. and Shelby went on to develop several other specialty performance cars and trucks for other companies, like Chrysler and General Motors. But Ford wanted him back, and by all indications, Shelby was ready too. Their first collaboration was the 2006 Shelby GT500, a tribute to the first 1966 GT350H Hertz rental cars. 2007 would be a stellar year with the addition of the GT500 models in both coupe and convertible body styles. Every GT500 would be equipped with a supercharger as standard equipment, which would be the way it would be throughout the entire run up to and including the newest 2021 cars. In keeping with the performance heritage set up by old Carroll himself clear back in 1962, the only one transmission that was available was manually shifted. In this case, it was a 6-speed Tremec TR6060, capably transferring the power back to a live rear axle, and finally a huge set of specially designed Brembo disc brakes squeezed the rotors at all four corners. Many people were expecting to see an independent rear suspension out back on these amazing supercars, but Ford engineers felt that this older axle design was better suited for all-out racing, and something most of their customers were more intimately familiar with. An early upgrade option was called Red Stripe Appearance Package, available only on black or white coupes. The drop tops had no iconic to Shelby's Le Mans style striping available in any color at all. Specs for engines, transmissions, rear axle ratios, colors, packages, and miscellaneous options would change throughout the production run. As mentioned earlier, all modern era GT500s were basically equipped with three main features: a blower, a 6-speed, and a standard type rear axle. The newest 2021 offerings are now equipped with an amazing 5.2-liter all-aluminum V8 putting out an astounding 760 horsepower. These cars are no longer equipped with the manual 6-speed, but now sport a 7-speed automatic, and they are finally utilizing an independent rear suspension, even though the SVT Mustang Cobra first had one from 1999 to 2005. The first full year of production saw the combined efforts of Carroll Shelby and Ford Motor Company's Special Vehicle Team, or SVT, come together. Based on the latest S197 platform that debuted in 2005, all of these cars were assembled in the Flat Rock, Michigan plant, and as before with the specialty 4.6-liter Cobra engines, the power plants built there were hand-assembled by specially trained technicians who worked at the Romeo, Michigan engine plant. So proud of how meticulously these special engines were hand-built, each tech proudly signs each engine upon its completion. That first year, Ford would crank out an impressive 10,847 cars in both coupe and convertible body styles under the watchful eye of a new corporation set up specifically to produce these legendary cars. This would allow the new company various corporate advantages, and they'd now be recognized as an independent manufacturer. This new enterprise would be known as Automotive Alliance International. In fact, this production run is a record that still stands in the entire history of the GT500, going clear back to 1967. The following year, another 8,583 cars were purchased by proud new owners, another record that still stands for second best sales numbers for a model year. Many of these new GT500 owners had the option of sending their car to Shelby's AAI facility in Las Vegas, Nevada for additional performance and appearance enhancements. From here until the end of 2010, all GT500s had a cast iron block and aluminum cylinder heads. In 2011, the switch was finally made to equip these cars with an all-aluminum power plant, which increased horsepower output from 500 to 550. Displacement was a rather svelte 5.4 liters through 2012. An anniversary worth noting and promoting rolled out in 2008 when the legendary KR celebrated its 40th anniversary. It was so successful that Ford continued it into the 2009 model year to satisfy all of the pent-up demand for this base price of $120,000 package. This bought you a carbon fiber hood and additional styling features and performance upgrades to gain 40 more horses over the 500 that the standard GT500 put out. 2008 would also offer buyers a glass top on the coupes, but that was really never a popular option throughout the GT500 production. The following year, 2010, saw these Mustang Shelbys keep upping their game. Now officially associated with legendary drag racer Don Prudhomme, who dominated various classes in drag racing throughout his career. This year, a new option package dubbed the Super Snake could finally be ordered. Many younger enthusiasts may not remember that Prudhomme's nickname was the Snake and included a wide body conversion and extensive performance and chassis tweaks. Many post-production 2007 to 2010 Shelbys would return to Shelby's Las Vegas facility for conversions, and there were several other authorized vendors throughout the country that had Ford's and Shelby's blessings to complete all or part of the conversions requested by eager customers. These have all been fully documented because Shelby knew that these cars would be destined to be instant collectibles. They knew that collectors demanded full documentation for the future values of their supercars. The Super Snake package would continue to be available either on a newly purchased car or on an already existing GT500 for the rest of this generation's production. By 2012, the model year of our feature car from last Sunday, Shelby was supplying the utmost of well-heeled speed demons with the Shelby 1000 SC. Yep, that's right, 1000 horsepower. This was an expensive package amounting to nearly $200 large over the price of a base GT500. As you can probably imagine, not too many were sold, so these are expected to be the top collectible cars from this entire 5th generation Mustang run. Some additional 1000 SCs were built for 2013. But for mere mortals, what Shelby offered for its owner experience was still the 5.4-liter, 550-horse dual overhead cam. It was more than satisfactory. Recaro bucket seats were now offered on the option list for the first time, and as seen on our feature car, was also available in two-tone colors that resembled racing stripes to complement the exterior colors. Speaking of our feature car, its striking color is known as ingot silver, of which only 382 coupes left the Flat Rock plant for that model year. The following year, 2013, once again saw an increase in cubic inch displacement to 5.8 liters, now putting out 112 additional ponies for a new grand total of a whopping 662 horsepower. As in years past, most enthusiasts preferred coupe, most likely for its structural rigidity over its drop-top brother. Before we go any further, there's another model worth mentioning, although it was never available to the public. When Carroll Shelby passed away the previous year on May 10th at the age of 89, a loosely organized group calling themselves the Friends of Carroll Shelby wanted to do something special for their friend. The group consisted of several entities, including Ford Motor Company, Shelby American, AAI, and Ford Racing. Together, they designed and built a one-off tribute car based on the then-current GT500. This appropriate tribute Mustang was officially unveiled during the weekend of the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance in California. This special performance supercar was a huge hit for everyone that saw it, not only because of its significance to the automotive world, but also because of its distinctive styling and impressive performance credentials. The standard 662 horse Shelby GT500 is certainly no slouch, but the Friends of Carroll Shelby decided to kick things up a notch for this special car just as Carroll had done with all of his legendary and iconic performance vehicles over the years. It was appropriately nicknamed the Shelby GT500 Cobra. Courtesy of a Ford Racing 4-liter Whipple supercharger, this supercar's 5.8-liter V8 now delivers an astounding 850 horsepower. We think Carroll would approve. To ensure this car can put all that power to the ground, the design team increased the width of the rear tires. The 13-inch meats now measured 345 millimeters across the tread width and were mounted on hoops totaling 20 inches in diameter. To fit all of the rolling stock within the confines of each wheelhouse, as well as create a look reminiscent of Shelby's legendary Cobra race cars from a half-century earlier, Shelby American provided a specially designed wide-body kit. The hood that would clear the massive supercharger was provided by Shelby American. This tribute car was even painted the same iconic Guardsman blue color, accented with Wimbledon white stripes that graced so many of Shelby's Cobras built during the 1960s. The final year of production of the S197 base GT500 really saw no new changes or what you might expect to see in the last of a series of especially limited production performance car. However, because people knew that production was ending on these amazing performance Mustangs at the end of the year, demand was up. As a matter of fact, enthusiastic buyers inked sales contracts for both body styles 5,730 times, which was the third biggest model year total in their history, going clear back to 1967. As mentioned earlier, the new GT500 appeared in Ford showrooms again for model year 2020 after a 5-year hiatus, much to the delight of performance car buyers everywhere. Now Ford's distribution network for these cars is more finely tuned, which means more drivers that will only settle for a Ford Mustang Shelby will be able to get one. With the more aggressive S550 styling along with Shelby upgrades, a new 5.2-liter 700 horsepower engine, a state-of-the-art 7-speed high-performance automatic transmission, and the long-awaited independent rear suspension. This is now truly a world-class supercar, able to competently compete with the best the world has to offer, at a fraction of what most of these examples would set you back for. The legend continues. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this look at these amazing American icons. If you could buy a late model S197 Shelby, which one would you get and why? Tell us in the comments, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like. Join us next Sunday when we'll feature a breathtakingly beautiful 1998 Chevrolet Corvette convertible, another American icon. Hope to see you then. In the meantime, thanks for watching and stay safe out there.